personalities, a couple of big men sitting next to each other, Helmuth and Ballant. There is Russia's Sarkis Akopian, 10-9 offsuit.
Nice.
And nobody raised you?
Another raise from the Russian player. Makes it 16,000. Action folds over to Ballant. Ballant with ace-queen offsuit. In the small blind.
I'm going to raise.
Jean-Robert had a 9-1 chip lead, heads up, looking for his first bracelet just before the main event, but Matthew Graham beat him.
I'll play all my chips.
And Ballant is going to move all in with ace-queen. Big blind Phil Helmuth folds. So back to Akopian now. He'll need just over 66,000 to call.
Yeah, blue. Blue 7. Get it. Blue 13.
Cool.
And a call from Akopian quickly.
Motley, 10-9, will call him.
Wow.
I'm blessed. Oh, God.
Did I not raise enough? No.
I win.
Well, I did, huh?
I win.
I do need a double up, but man, I don't even understand.
We talk a lot about the landmines the pros have to dodge in the main event. Here's one.
I love the call, but I'm not very lucky in these kind of situations. Oh, man. Bill, what's going on here? Don't send me home with the 10-9. Please don't send me home with the 10-9.
Don't get Phil started on this type of situation.
Mathematically, I don't know if that was a correct call.
Mathematically, it's not an awful call.
I knew you were strong, John.
Of course I was strong, but strong or not, 10-9?
All right, 10-9 against Ballant's ace-queen. And there's an ace.
Yes!
Jean-Robert loves the call now.
Baby. Come on. No jacks, please. No jacks and no sevens. No jacks, no sevens, and I don't need any more pairs.
No jacks, no sevens, and he doesn't need any more pairs.
Deuce ball.
It's a 6.
That's the card I'm talking
Not
about.
over yet, Jean-Robert.
Did I tell you that you look very handsome today, sir?
Jean-Robert, he could still hit a 7.
Akopian with a straight draw.
Ballant thought it was over. Almost, Jean-Robert.
Jean-Robert, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Kopian thinks he's going to hit the 4-outer.
Don't do it to me like that. That would be ugly.
Kopian needs a 7 for a straight to knock out Jean-Robert.
River card. Oh! It's a 7. Ballant is gone.
Thank goodness it wasn't Phil.
Oh,
God.
He came back from China for this?
God. Excuse me.
he does make his first main event cash, but he's not happy about that right now.
That was the sickest, dude.
No. Maybe we'll bring Jean-Robert back for main event All-Stars.
What a way to go out.
That was the sickest.
Jean-Robert Ballant survived the many slings and arrows of the first few days of the main event, but he could not survive 10-9 offsuit.
1,000 in chips. David with queen 6. Limps in on the button. Sammy with queen 10 suited. He raises to 7,000.
I get the button. I'll take the button.
David calls.
Again, we're seeing those raises a little bit bigger than most of the other players in this field out of Sammy. That time, 3.5 times the big blind.
Queens full for Williams, and he's gonna get action because Sammy flopped trip queens.
Uh-oh.
Sammy bets 4,000 and Williams calls. 4 clubs on the turn.
Sammy picks up an irrelevant flush draw. And both of these guys are checking it.
Check, check. And the 3-outer on the river. Sammy makes queens full of 10s.
Wowzers.
He bets 15,000.
This is unbelievable. David flopped the whole wide world, and Sammy caught up on the end.
Williams raises to 35,000.
This could get nuclear. This is all pageantry by Sammy Farha.
Always.
The nuts versus the second nuts.
Sammy raises.
I guess I'm all in.
David goes all in. Sammy calls and shows him the unbeatable hand. David's eliminated.
Wow. Wow.
That is brutal.
Did it twice.
So far today, and I'm sure he was getting a little bit down on himself, but you know, that was a big move.
Seat 7 raise 9,500.
Thumbs lock. And Sorrel has been. Oh,
they both have ace king. Sorrel
is more willing, obviously, to get this in than theoretically than Phil.
Here's why. Phil actually is down to 200K in chips, which is only 50 bigs. So now it's light enough that he's want to, and he's hoping maybe Phil's gonna make a move with something worse.
Seat 1 re-raise.
Also, he's got the same situation where even if Phil doesn't have a good hand, it's like you're putting pressure on a guy who doesn't have many points when you do. So,
and I'm not sure if this is an easy, clear-cut decision for Phil. Doesn't feel like it.
I don't think Phil's folding.
Right. He can't fold. But the 4-bet feels.
I think Phil
similar.
might just, based on his, he's gonna just, here it is, do some weird like. No, you know, here's what Phil's going to do.
So
he's going to think about it for a minute.
And then
he's going to
jam?
look down. He's going to like cut out like 110,000 or 129,000 more, slide it on his 2 cards into the pot. So yeah, Phil's here's putting 100. Did I say 129,000? Because God, that looks close.
you are.
Hold on.
It's actually quite scary how connected you are to the underpinnings of his brain.
Seat 7 raise 125. 125,500.
All right. I mean, I might have to leave the booth now. You can get the next guy to come in here.
Seat 1 re-raise all in. All in call.
How does he have ace king though? No jacks.
No. He's slow rolling. Slow rolling the chop.
Correct.
Wait, but you're suited, bro. You
Correct. I can't help it. It's a chop. Well, it's actually not a chop because I have heart.
What do you mean? If it was offsuit, that would be okay.
That was some high-level banter right there.
You get it all lined up. You get it right every time.
Mizzy correctly figured out he was slow rolling the chop.
I was thinking if you have ace king, maybe what I'm supposed to do is look at the flop, then pop it on a jack high flop.
Right.
Wow, everybody is standing up. Everybody is standing up.
4 spades,
I
mean, this is not a big thing. Everybody stood up.
Oh, Mizzy's.
I deserve to lose. I deserve to lose. Bring it on. 3 clubs.
Everybody wants Phil to lose this.
Whatever. I'm in Montreal. I'm having a good time doing something.
3 of hearts. Oh no.
Wow. This is like the sickest moment.
I gotta be ready to hug you if things go wrong. Either way, you're getting a hug.
Yeah.
You're getting.
I think you're get through the hands thing
good,
again.
kid.
Queen of clubs.
I looked at the ace king of hearts.
I'm okay with the chop.
I deserve the
really
club. I deserve it, don't I?
Kind
I
of.
deserve it.
A little bit.
Vanessa, I deserve it, right?
A little bit. A little bit.
I don't know
Phil's
if I
energy
deserve,
is
but
not
it would
good
be
here.
okay.
That's his
I'd be
backpack.
okay with it.
I'm not.
You know,
I'm feeling
I told
worried
you
about this.
The gods saw it. They were on vacation.
It's feeling clubby.
Oh
my God. That's what it really is.
Wow. And that is not the Premier League for Phil Locke, but it is not good. Amazing stuff. And, you know, one thing is for sure, Brian, whether or not Phil made good decisions.
Light chip advantage for Joseph. As you can see, he looks in on Jack 4 and calls. Ace 10 of diamonds for Eugene. He checks.
Chong taking a bit of a different approach here, not raising the button.
And Eugene has flopped the nut flush.
He's got the royal flush draw. Not that he needs it.
Jacks for Joseph. That has bet 1,600. And Chong calls.
I give Eugene credit. By having bet the flop, he makes it that much more difficult for Joe to put him on the flush. Who would bet the nut flush on the flop, right?
It's a tough turn card for Joe. He has made 3 of a kind and bets 3,000.
And that's, of course, because Eugene checked it to him, which is a fantastic check. He's reeling Joe in here.
Oh, rivers of 4 of spades and a full house for Chong.
Are you kidding me? This is the first pot we're seeing in this match, the nut flush against a boat.
Kachalov is checked. Chong bet 6,600.
There is a pair out there, but you can't expect Eugene to just call. And in fact, you see the raise to 18,000. Joe is loving this.
I'm all in.
And he's going to try to put Eugene all in.
Oh, that looks set it all. Eugene knows with the pair out there, the nut flush is vulnerable. And if you've got the nut flush, what is Joe shipping it with?
I feel like a little if I just called you with this.
And Eugene lays down the ace high flush.
That's no Harvey home game play. That's a disciplined laydown.
Flush and lays it down. I have a file on my phone that says Nobu London, has the addresses. Because I was here for like 4 weeks and wanted to go so many times. So I was like, you know what, this will be a good idea.
We've gone basically a whole level four-handed now. I mean, there's a couple more hands left.
Yeah, we have. But, I mean, there's bound to be some action this level. Especially when the blinds are about to go up and people know it. See you like now. I think you qualify too, Tom.
You know,
He's all in. Roland's gonna call. Even though they're first and second, I mean, not one of them is gonna be a huge tip leader. It's just the way it is.
just say, I mean, it was early in last match. They were still six-handed when Roland made a raise with the eights and Dwan moved all in. He folded, but this is completely different,
oh,
right?
It's way different. I mean, the blinds are so much higher.
You
It's
said no so
insta
fast.
call.
How can you ask how much it is and then say no to ace queen?
316,000. There's the ace.
Oh, and the ace.
Good game.
All right.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, buddy.
I mean, I'm like
You got
0.1.
straight outs.
Good game.
Wow, he shook the hand.
That's allowed.
Why would you?
Such a mistake.
That's like an accepting.
That's
really
allowed.
You
That's what
should
we're
chop it down.
I
Ace,
don't do that annoying
king,
shit when you
10 or
go,
jack to stay
You
alive.
accepted
Oh, that's it.
Hold on, slow down, slow
I
down,
made
slow
such a big
down.
mistake.
You gotta do it to him now. You gotta do it to him now. No.
Put the coat on. I made such a
Take the
big
mic
mistake.
Why would you take? Why would you take
I don't
the
know what I
handshake? You just like
Put a 10 up.
cost yourself the tournament.
He knows to put the jacket on strategy. Where's the 10?
Taking his microphone off.
He's walking out the door.
1, 2.
Oh!
Sick.
It didn't come yet. It didn't come yet. No, yo, wait. Oh my God! You
Oh my God, they're just
They might just
quiet.
push Roland the chips. He's gone.
They're just quiet.
Yo, you're in, kid.
Unbelievable. I'm never letting you.
We were gonna slow roll you, but it came.
Oh my God, it's
I shook the hand. It's
unbelievable.
my score.
For all the viewers, I talked about this last
It's too
time.
strong a strategy.
Oh my God.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you